the arch of the clock tower, and I was looking at it earlier and thinking back over, well, it's been 40 years or more. And Chip Aquadro is somebody I've known and admired and watched in his magnificent career. He may be a Cornellian professionally, but when the Big Red is in Appleton Arena, we know who he's cheering for. And I will introduce him not by the academic pedigree, which is absolutely stunning, and you can see for yourself what he's accomplished in population genetics. I know that anybody in American education who's in this field of study, you're not going to be at a major research university without touching the hand and the mind of Chip Aquadro. He's made a significant contribution, a very important part of American science. And not only that, he is a figure of global importance. But I would bring it right back to St. Lawrence, as Bill Torrey did so skillfully, and you think about this community, this little town and the backwater, and then the world that people get to travel once they've been here. I think about knowing Chip and Wendy when they first fell in love on this campus, as so many have, and remembering when they first dated on campus, and that all these years later, they've got Brian and Laurel with them tonight, and it's just great for me and for Lee Bailey to kind of have a reunion of that era at St. Lawrence. So, my friend Chip Aquadro.
Well, thank you. It's a real pleasure, and I echo what Bill Torrey said about just when Bill called me. I mean, I got a call on my cell phone that said, call back, and I thought, okay, I prepared myself. Okay, they're trying to build a new building or something like that. But he's not. Why is he calling it an academic? He knows my pockets are, they have holes in them. They don't really. So I was just absolutely stunned when Bill indicated that he and the Board of Trustees and the faculty, that really meant a lot to me too, had voted to bestow this honor on me, as well as the others here. And it was, special to me for many reasons. My time here at St. Lawrence, as I'll talk a little bit more tomorrow, was a very special time for me. It made me realize a lot of things. It helped me define what my passions were. It helped define my sort of interests. It made me realize, in fact, the real power that the faculty here can have in drawing out the real interests in the students, and in very enriching ways. And frankly, my experience here at St. Lawrence, Bill was over here, J.G. Jockel was over here too, as I recall. He was a classmate of ours. And I was up on Rug Hall on the top floor, which has a very distinctive history that we don't need to talk about tonight. But anyway, it was a wonderful time and a wonderful experience here. The thing that was most meaningful to me about my time here was, as Bill's already alluded to, I got to meet a lot of really wonderful people. And frankly, the most wonderful person has been the person I've spent the last, and it's been 41 years, Bill, since you graduated, my wife, Wendy. And I met her my freshman year, and I'll be very clear, and I think, I feel like I've had a wonderful career in research and academics and in teaching and mentoring students and in science. And my partner in all that really is Wendy. And I want to say thanks to her for all the support all these years. believing in me and helping to sort of manage me at times, to tolerate me at times. One of the things that many of you, why you've succeeded is you have a real intense passion about what you do. And for many of you, St. Lawrence may help you realize what that passion was. But it takes not only a real passion, but it also takes a team sometimes to help make that come true, and Wendy's been my team. I also want to emphasize that one of the other things about St. Lawrence, and many of you may think that, okay, this is a science guy, and so all he did was science, but I did have some really great opportunities outside of the academics that I did that were really meaningful to me. I started out my freshman year, I was on the ski team, really wasn't good enough for the competitive skiing, so I ended up shifting and teaching skiing out at the Snow Bowl, and that was a wonderful experience. I became a resident assistant here, and through that experience, both Wendy and I got to know Lee Bailey very well. Lee was a year ahead of us, and that also led to, in fact, my introduction to the humanities, because Lee was, a government major, and he was, really, we became friends through different kinds of things since freshman year. And so he introduced me to poetry, because every Friday he and Scott Barnhart and several others would go out to what was called the Treadway Inn at that point. It's the Best Western now. There was basically a discussion of poets on Friday afternoon. Now, it's not the humanities you're thinking of. It was actually Piss on Everything Tomorrow's Saturday. And so we would go out and fundamentally have a nice sort of evening. Wendy and I often would cross-country ski out there. But we would sit down and talk, and it was really fun because it was Scott Barnhart, Pat Lord, Candy Gray, Lee, and we just talked about all sorts of different kinds of things, and that really cemented a relationship that led actually to Lee being part of our wedding party 3 weeks after we graduated here at Cornell. It's been a deep, meaningful relationship for our lives so far. The other thing I want to say is that my experience here at St. Lawrence really made me realize the importance of, and this was something that the faculty here were really good at supporting me in terms of helping to find things that I wanted to do, not what they wanted to do, but looking to my strengths. And as liberal arts faces a real series of challenges these days moving forward, one of the things that's really important is people realizing the kinds of interests they have and putting them together in sort of unique ways. I didn't go into biology actually thinking I was going to be an academic. I went into it because I was curious, and there were different strengths that I had and different weaknesses that I had, but the people here at Cornell really gave me the confidence to follow those interests and sort of move forward in the directions that actually I had a passion in and I ended up being successful at. It's something that we've tried to instill and be supportive of in our kids. We have one of our sons here, Brian. We have a daughter, Christine, who FaceTimed us this morning from a mountaintop in Slovenia. She's out in Europe with her husband, and our other youngest son his wife is 8 months pregnant, so they're not here because of that. So, but in fact, we've tried as parents to really instill that as well and be supportive of people in a variety of different directions that are most important to them, not important to us. And that's been something I've really tried to carry through in my career at Cornell as a faculty member, as a mentor, as an administrator, and others, is try to help people recognize what their strengths are and pursue those in very effective ways. And I think it's the most powerful thing we can do as faculty members. And it also helps bring together, I think, the different disciplines in ways that are so essential as we move forward in the humanities and sciences, and bring them together and basically show the importance of these broad disciplinary interactions moving forward for members of society to solve the kind of problems that we're facing. So I just want to end by saying again, thank you very much. It's been a wonderful weekend so far. We're looking forward to tomorrow morning and celebrating the graduation of yet another wonderful class of St. Lawrence undergrads, and I'm really excited to both be back here, to be part of this, and I really, really value this honor tremendously. To me, it's sort of one of the most meaningful things that's happened in my career, and I thank you and the faculty and Bill for this honor. Thank you.